Hello, welcome to this video. This is not the normal thing I would do, but it's a video I felt I wanted to do because I think there is a lot of talk out there on this technique, the push-pull technique. There's a lot of talk, a lot of videos out there. I have been trying to master this technique for many years now. I don't believe I have mastered it, but what I have done is watched every single bloody video out there on this technique, and none of it really helps. And I've had to find my own way through to develop a reasonable push-pull technique and actually develop it in a way that I now utilize it in my playing, because I can't see any point in developing something if you're not going to use it in your playing. So you've probably come here because the title of this video says, you know, push-pull technique, everything you need to know. And I'm going to go through everything that I have learned about this, which I have found useful in terms of developing the technique, and hopefully it will fill some of the gaps, and most importantly fill some of the mysteries out there where you're watching somebody doing it and explaining it and going, yeah, but I just can't do it. And hopefully if you watch this, by the time you get to the end of this, you'll go, I know what I'm doing wrong. And I'm going to go step by step through a process I think you would have to go through to develop this technique. It really is a hard technique to develop, and I think it's because it's counterintuitive. We play the drums, we hit the drums. To hit the drum, we are always hitting the stick's always going down. Now, when we learn the drums, if you really study hand technique, you realize that the hand coming back up, I'm doing what's called a full stroke here, is very important. Now, I believe that the full stroke is required for you to be able to do push-pull. So really the first part of this video would be me explaining, you know, the full stroke, and that's going to take me about an hour to really get through every aspect. And so what I'm going to try and is embed the development of the full stroke into the development of push-pull. So let's define what push-pull is. It's this. So what I'm doing there is I'm playing a stream of 16th notes, and I'm doing it by pushing the stick and pulling it back up. Right, so let's slow this down now, and I've got a special camera here so you can see what my hands do. So I'm just going to slow that down a little bit. So I'm now doing the push-pull technique. Now why it's counterintuitive is because if you look there, that's fair enough, the stick's gone down, but as I pull it back up, I'm actually getting a stroke as my hand comes back up. And this is... it's counterintuitive to most drummers. Now, if you can play a double with your fingers, that utilizes push-pull. Many of you will be able to do this. Although you're probably doing it a little bit more like this. Perhaps. A little bit more like this, whereas you can see mine's more exaggerated. Okay? But where many people can go, what they can't do is join that up. Okay, so the join up is what's important. More drummers will be able to do that and be thinking, why can I not join these up? On this video, I'm going to try and explain that. We're going to go step by step through it. Now, those of you who watch my channel, you'll know that I am more of a sort of music cultural, you know, music history, you know, champion of prog and all that lot. That's more what I do, and I don't tend to do drum education videos that much on my channel, but there are some here. If you join my Patreon, there is a cheaper alternative than becoming a full, sorry, not my Patreon, my membership here on YouTube. There's a cheaper alternative than becoming a full member, and that's to become a For the Drummers member, which is where I create video just for the drummers out there. The full membership, get to see them as well. So I will probably, if they want, carry on my membership and on my Patreon, if people want it, to try and get a little bit more into this technique. But I have to say here that I am no way a master of this technique, but I can play it. It's quite comfortable for me now. It's in my playing, and I have had to have certain realizations about this to get to the point I'm at the moment. This here, what you're watching there, has taken about 20 years. Going back to when I first saw the incredible DVD by Jojo Mayer on hand technique. Now, there was a section in there where he talked about, he called them one-handed rolls. Now, I've got none of these up to roll speed, but just to cover it, there's a number of ways of playing a one-handed roll. Another way is this freehand roll, or a blast, a gravity blast. Sometimes the metal players use it. So that's, you hit, you push, and in pushing the stick comes up. So when you lift it up with enough aggression, you get a hit. Now, I haven't got the rim of the kit, which puts it into a different angle, so I'll pretend the rim's there. So that's the gravity blast. This is not the gravity blast. There is also another way of playing a one-handed roll that Jojo Mayer explains on that. And I once did a clinic with a credible drummer called Scott Pellegrim. Check him out, insane. And he showed me this technique, which is basically that. And I can't do that very well, but that's another way of doing it. Which is basically, it's like a one finger control. You see my first finger there? Second finger there, and then you go between the two. I can do it, it's quite comfortable. I'm looking at this thinking, what am I missing to be able to get it like Scott had it, which was really fast, you know? And I don't know what it is. But with the push-pull, I know what it is. I know all the stuff that was in the way, you know, for me to be able to comfortably sit there quite comfortably now, ripping those off. Now, another caveat, I have never really been able to get it much faster than fingers. Right? But I was happy to be able to do this. Oh, I'm doing that other one now. I was happy to have that. And the way I utilize it is basically, it has a different sound to that. That is completely even. When we do sort of Gladstone technique finger control, that's completely even. But so this has a certain feel to it. So I utilize it mainly for going bang, the boom, boom, bat in a rock beat. I can sit on that for hours. It doesn't tie my hand. So that's basically how I use the push-pull, right? I'm hoping, you know, maybe 2 or 3 more years I will have this up to full speed, but it's not there, and I'm admitting that from the outset. If that upsets you that I can't play it fast, sling your hook. This video is not for you. But if you want the step-by-step guide of how I got there, right, and what I learned from it, with everything I think you need to be able to do this, because this push-pull is actually, by the name, as the name suggests, it's 2 things going on at the same time, and these 2 things have a number of components, and if you can't do any of these components on their own, you won't be able to do this, right? Also, this technique is based upon certain ideas that you cannot do. They're not static technical ideas. Some ideas are static. Like, so a freehand stroke, I could hold this here as long as I like, do it and come back. And that's pretty static. I can sat around and here that'll work, you know, because the starting and end point is static. It's solid, it doesn't move. This, right, this stroke here, you cannot do that second pull out. You can't do unless the stick is in this much more chaotic place, okay? Now this here, that shape I've got here, I believe is very important for developing this, but we're not there yet, are we? So let's now start. We're 10 minutes in on this video. It is going to be a long video. It has to be for this to have any meaning against the slew of much shorter videos out there trying to teach this technique. All right, so here I am. I have got the stick in German. This is in French. That's in German. French, German. Now in both of these, when you hit, you could hit in a way where you don't restrict the stick and you let it bounce. Now, one of the things is you've really got to be letting that bounce. Now, how am I letting it bounce? Well, in German, if you imagine my fingers are here. Now, if you look at your hand in German, there the fingers are out. If I bring my wrist up to do a stroke, you can see that my fingers, that's uncomfortable. If I just relax my fingers, they come up into a natural fist. Now, you might find that you're doing that is more natural. But if you could just come up to that, this is the first thing I would start practicing, is this grip here. Can you see that there? This is like a triangular grip, you see? Right? And your thumb doesn't want to be at the end, it wants to be around about where that crease is. So now, keep your finger there, drop it down, bring it up, down, up. And that's the first exercise I would get you doing. Now when your hand's down here, I want you to put the stick into it, put it on about the back third, which on these vinyl sticks is where it says made in Germany, and put it, don't grip it there, don't put any grip in there, actually have this, so it's sat almost, if you imagine your hand like that, it's sat in there at the back third. When you bring your stick up, it's now resting. There's all this movement there, okay? So put it there with the stick, and because you're at the back third, the weight of the stick is pulling this forward, and this is then resting up into the palm of your hand. And then just bring it down onto the drum, and you can come down vertically like this. Bring it back up. Right, now bring it up, grip it all 4 fingers, and now try and push. So we're pushing our hand into that position. Open, closed. Now, you might have difficulty doing this, and I promise you it's because intuitively you want to make those bounces happen. So you are naturally waggling your wrists like this. And you're going into this, you're holding it loose, but that's got to stop. So you come down and you freeze your hand. Freeze, 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 freeze. Now you can see, now we started off here, that's fine. You'll find this is really, it feels really light, unbelievably light. And you'll be thinking, I can't play the drums like this. Now move the stick up so it's a little bit closer to the second crease. That's the second part for me. And you'll feel like there's a little bit more control. So now we could take the stick up to vertical. Wrist is out, we're going to drop our wrist down and assume this position here, the sticks are going to bounce. Now these exercises will help absolutely everything on the drums. Fire down like that. Now, you could try pulling it up. I usually get my students to pull it up on the third bounce. 2, 3. And try doing it quite hard and very soft. Letting it bounce. Then once you've got that, try 2. This will feel easier. And I'm hoping here, for some of you might click at this point and go, oh, hang on, what's happening with my fingers? Because you will find that you're pulling that stick up. If it's not happening, it's because you're pulling the stick up after the bounce. So here is it after the bounce. But if you could pull it up a little bit earlier, so it's almost like you start to pull it up on the second bounce, you will feel the stick being guided back up by your fingers as it shuts. That there, if you've got that, it's just a matter of then holding this at that speed for about a week, every single day, until that becomes natural. Now, what happens if this does not develop? If you don't get that there using my bounce and pull. Now, if you do one, by the way, so I'm going to let it bounce, but as soon as it bounces, I'm pulling it up. And if you do the one, and then literally try on the moment of impact to open your hand up completely so there's no grip, you're not gripping the stick. You then have your free stroke, the basis of all technique. 2, 3. Now, of course, what's happening with the push-pull is the fingers are actually shutting. So let's really now get into this in depth. So a push-pull, you're bringing your hand down, right? You hit it, the stick's allowed to bounce. As it bounces up, it comes into these fingers here. And then these fingers, just by shutting, will bring the stick down. Now, I believe this is the hardest bit. This is the counterintuitive bit. You see that? So here. Okay, so down. So the next thing, if you haven't got this, is you're going to have to struggle towards getting this. Being able to hit, let the stick bounce up. Now, one way to develop this, I believe, is to actually put the stick away from the pad, right? And just move it into that position there. You need to see that position. This is a visual thing, right? My fingers are completely straight. My thumb is straight. The stick is resting here. And I've transferred to the grip is between the thumb there and these two fingers. See that there? Now, you could flip that forward, sort of rotating it on that finger there. Now, this you should have some control over. And then you can flip it back quite fast, and then you'll find that by flipping it back and then closing your fingers, you can then get. Now, you might find you've actually got to put your hand into that position, put the stick here. If this hand isn't shaped like this, you're not going to be able to do that. Can you see how straight all my fingers are? And then close your fingers. Now, if you've got it in here, you might find that you're getting things like this. Right. That is, you're going to have to feel your way through, so you've got the control to then hit the drum and then bring your hand up. Hit the drum, hand up. And then try and bring that all in together so we get this. Now, you could also, if you've got this here, you could close your fingers, and as you close, pull your wrist up. See that transfer to wrist straight to up, wrist straight to up, wrist straight to up. This is something that I practice all the time at home. You see, as the hand drops down, right, you have to be able to manipulate the stick so it comes back here and pull it up. I can only tell you so much. You have to watch the video of me doing this. And then onto the pad. What am I doing? So put the stick here, hit the pad, pull it up. Next thing you're going to have to work on, this is another difficult one. We're now going to, once you've got your finger into that position, trying to hit the pad quite softly and allow the stick to bounce back into that position. Let the stick come back into this position so you end up in this position. This is key. Nobody discusses this position here. Right? If you've ever backstick, it's the same technique. You see that there? which forms, if I get my other stick, I didn't want to have 2 sticks on here. That's your back sticker. I'm no expert on it, but if you can back stick, that's the same thing. So now we're going to lightly hit the drum and let the stick come back into here, and then we're going to combine that with the closing the fingers and pulling it up. So you're going to go down. Now, when my students do this, they always do this. They try and do that. No, I want you to go down, hold it here for ages, and ages. Become consciously aware of your hand in this position, and then shut. Down, shut, down, shut, down, shut. And hopefully you will have this. Now this is what I call a big push-pull. Right, now, all of that we are now going to repeat for French. So French, when you're playing French, your thumb is on top. And you can't play French here. German means that your stick is coming in here. If we're in German, if we're playing German here, I've got to watch this other camera. For me to have my palms facing the floor, the sticks will form a right angle. For my thumb to be on top, the stick is now coming out of our belly here. Right, so exactly the same. Hold the stick here, like that, utilize that technique with the grip, and you'll find it's easier in French, the grip between your thumb and your second finger. Start with the second finger pivot, and that pivot is on the knuckle, on the second crease in there, on the back third, and just drop it down and then pull it back up and let it bounce. Here, you can actually take your thumb off once you're in position. If you've got this right, see that there, and that is a really good way of developing the bounce in French. Is to pick the stick up, if I can do it, and find that back third. I'm too far where it bounces. You got that? So now, once you've got that, go up to with your hands straight up. And drop it down and let it bounce. Back up and let it bounce. Then go for 3. Go for 2. Then if you go to 1, you will have your full stroke. Now, I think that when you're developing push-pull here in French, and my suggestion is do both. Okay, when you're in French, rather than having the stick straight on, which is the established way to teach, you just take it out a little bit and drop it for me, which means your elbow comes up. There's 3. Then 2. Then 1. Sorry, 1. Right, so now you can then develop this much bigger push-pull. Work with both, see what makes sense, because you will get things in the one grip that you haven't got in the other grip, and then your hand can teach itself. So here's an exercise, big push-pull now, push-pull, and then French. Push-pull, French. I always find this is, if you're doing finger control, I will do both. German, French, German, French, doubles German, French, right? And also move your hand through both of those, because in reality, when somebody's playing on the right cymbal, or they're playing on the floor tom, I'm always playing French here. If I'm playing hi-hat, I'm moving over towards German. I'm a very French style player, but here, even though there's a lot of videos out there saying it has to be French, which there's the action for push-pull. And notice I'm taking here, this finger off completely here. Here's push-pull with first finger pivot. Here's push-pull with second finger pivot. Now, one of the things that you will notice, right, we've got to get onto now how we speed this up. So say we've got this coming up here like this. The power of the wrist coming down, right, and the power of the wrist coming up is what's creating it. But the trouble is, this is now so big that we can only get that speed. Now you could try working at, this is full 90 degrees height. Often the way to develop speed is then to go to 45 degrees. And you'll find it's naturally faster there. And you should be able to get that, which will get you to about there. In French. German. But obviously, to get it really fast, you see that there? To get it really fast, you're going to have to develop something where the stick height is really little, about an inch. Now, one of the things I started to do, which really helped, was just do it slow, but quietly and little, and try and maintain an inch. And you start to feel that the stick is much more in your fingers. Now, to get a bounce at this height, we're going to have to start again. So how do we do this? Well, one way to do it is, in German, we've got this grip. Let's do it between all the fingers, so I'm covering absolutely everything, because you're going to play in different ways. I try and practice every single way. So for me, there's French and German, and then we've got 3 grips. First finger pivot, second finger pivot, and then back grip or molar grip here. There. This is a really useful thing. I'm going to throw this in because if you really had trouble with the bounces, try doing that grip there, right? Holding the stick and then just opening your fingers out, pulling it up, out, pulling it up, out. Try and develop that. This again, for your general playing, is such an important thing to be able to develop. See, so my hand's loose, the grip is back, so it's just these 2 back fingers, the stick's resting in there, and then the butt of the stick is going into my hand, and that's rest. When I grab, bring these 2 fingers in, these 2 fingers still aren't involved, but when I bring these 2 fingers in here, the stick comes up and down. And then if I drop it onto the thing, I can get 3 bounces, or 2 bounces, or I can get a free stroke. So we've now got 3 grips. We've got first finger pivot, German, first finger pivot, French, second finger pivot, German, second finger pivot, French, back grip, German, back grip, French. Whoa, it works in all of them, yeah, however you play. And I do this to dispel the idea, we go, oh, I don't play like that, or I don't play like that. As long as you understand the principles that you are hitting and then grabbing, that is what push-pull is. And as long as you've got that. So here is another way of approaching it. And this actually helped me to understand. If you grab the stick between these 2 fingers like this, we now have a pivot and we have the stick stopping in my hand. So I can drop it down. I can get 3 bounces. And you see again, the same action is working. 3 bounces, 2 bounces, and then we've got push-pull. Sorry, we've got our free stroke, and we now have push-pull. Now, this so naturally bounces, this grip so naturally bounces. Let's see if I can do it. Come on, Andy. Maybe I need to be a bit further forward. Even though I haven't practiced it, I can get a reasonable push-pull here. Right, I could also get a push-pull here. As long as I've got the stick bouncing and then some way of grabbing onto the stick when I pull it back up. All right, so Let's generate some speed, okay? For there to be speed, the stick's gonna have to be working over a small distance. So we've got to get a bounce. So if I'm in German here, as you could see, I've got a gap here. Now, if that's closed up, this is not gonna work so well. Make sure you have a gap. But I'm holding this stick tight. I'm pushing this tightly into here, not massively tight, but I'm gripping it. And then my fingers are on the stick and they're pushing the stick into my hand. So rather than doing this drop from here, we're just going to go an inch above and we're going to push the stick. And so our thumb, your thumb, which is bent here, is straightening. We're going to push out, push out, push. Then we're going to get our fingers underneath it and grab it. Look at the thumb. See how the thumb is working now? That has to work. Now, one of the ways I developed this was actually, I found in French that I could actually go from here, thumb at the back behind the finger, and then I could snap it up. And so by rubbing my thumb backwards and forth, these are all the extra things that you won't see on any other video. This is hard stuff, but I could rub my thumb back and forth. Let's see. Come on, Andy. Maybe not today. There we go. So let's just have a practice on this, because this is something I did for a number of days, months ago, probably a year ago, and I haven't done it since, but it did help me feel what's going on. So I'm just doing this, right, basically. So I find a speed I can nail it at. This is what you must do. So when you're developing this thing, don't try and go fast. Just find a speed where you are nailing it. And then count to 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Now, that's how I've always got my students to practice. Find the speed you can do it at. Don't try and play fast and then do 40 counts. Now, there we go. Once you get to 40, you should be able to knock the speed up. Now, if you watch what I did when I did it at this slower speed, if you rewind that back and watch it again, you will see that around about 15, 20, it started to become more awkward to me. Then my hands nailed it, and then it became not faster, but more under control. And my fingers learned something. That allow you to then go up to speed. So there I'm now at this new speed, which is a lot faster, and I'm now going to try and do 40 at that one. Now I'm utilizing a technique I haven't done that much on. This sort of thing here is a sort of aberration on the push-pull. I know about it, I'm trying to tell you about it, but because I can't do it very well, I'm showing you now how to practice all of this stuff. So now we can take this up and watch it. I'm going to count to 40 and hopefully we'll get the same pattern again of it going uncontrolled around about 15, 20, then me pulling it back together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Right, so that's a little bit faster. Let's see if we can get some more speed on top of that. My hand's getting tired at this point. quite chaotic, but it's starting to come in there. Now that there will then, well, it will give you a feel for your thumb here. I don't know if you can see my thumb is pushing and pulling here. 1, so let's try French. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, one of the things I am experimenting with here is working from finger to finger. So let's go back to German and now try and do this. So say you're here and you've got now started to develop that, right? Try doing it at least with both of these fingers. I found this is key. So I'm just going to move to just this finger now. So I'm just hitting, and here I'm pulling up with just that finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So now this is I'm trying to show how I would actually practice, because all the stuff I've gone through I have done many years ago. Now I am at this point, and my hand is tense there when I'm doing that at that speed, even though the technique is quite comfortable. Let's move to French and do the same thing at that speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, here we go, 20, 21. In French, my hand here has done a couple of little microscopic adjustments and lightened up a little bit, and the stick is moving from being right tight in my hand to actually out here a little bit more. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, there we go, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, lovely, 31. Now it's not getting faster, but what I'm feeling is the relaxation coming into my hand. Once I start to feel that, I know I'm on the right track. Now let's go now back to German, and now let's do this finger here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know this is tedious that I'm actually going, but I wanted to show you how actual practice looks like and what you're going to have to do with these grip bases of 40 counts, 16, 17, somewhere around there, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. It just got better. 29. I know I could go faster now, but I'm not going to. 30. Just hold it. 31, 32, 33, 34. Stick slipped a little bit forward. 35, 36. I could go faster. I can feel it in my hand. 37, 38, 39. 40. Let's go to French with this ring finger grabbing. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it in the right position. Start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12. See, I'm wanting to go to. I just went actually out to German. 12, 13, 14. It's all good stuff. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Lighten it up. 22, 23. Just, 20. If it's feeling all right, just lighten it up a little bit. 24. Try and keep it in. French, Andy. Whoa, that's why you're going to German. 25, there we go. 26, that's way better. 27, my God, that's lighter. 30, the way I'm talking it through and I'm feeling, not necessarily speed victories, but here, this is lighter, see? And the speed is there if I want it. I can start to feel it coming in. Right, so now we've got more speed. I'm utilising both fingers. Let's go back to number 1 again. Right, now I've gone up in speed again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My hand's cramping. 1, 2. I think this is something when you get older. This is the difference between being old and young. When you're young, your muscles are much more. You know that. So you start on something like this, and you've got more power to power through this. My muscles going this fast into a realm they haven't been in before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now this here, if I had that, I would be happy. Now, say we've utilised this, right? What traditional exercises do we need to do now to just consolidate it into our playing? I find this a really useful exercise. From now on, everything will go back to German. So get it at a comfortable speed. That's a bit slow now. Yeah, that's more comfortable for me now. If you watch this video, go back to the beginning, you will see how the actual practice routine that I am utilising here, because I'm not perfect, I'm not saying I'm the master of everything. I am trying to show you it working for me. That you could see how the speed is actually improving in front of your eyes. That's very important. I could have sat and done all this like any other drum teacher would have done before the video, so I seemed all powerful. But it doesn't teach. To teach, you must be humble. To teach, you have to show the student your own weaknesses and then show how you overcome them, because then they see how practice actually works. I say this as a caveat in case people are going, oh, at the beginning of this, it seemed a bit rubbish, but you can see now, much better. That's this here for push-pull. There. That's as fast as I need it. That for me is there. And that's nice and comfortable. So if we've got this, then we're going to play the equivalent at half speed, just with wrists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Let's do 40 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Here we go. 16, 17, 18, 9. Get more control of it, Andy. 10. That will really build it into your playing. Now, let's just add a certain other thing in. Right, you could hit, and rather than grabbing here, you could, with your fingers, hit it with your fingers, but also let it come back here. Can you see that? This is really stuff for another video, but we'll stick it on at the end here, so that if you come back to this video and you've nailed it all, you can maybe pick up something from what I'm about to show you. So can you see that there? I'm using this finger to send the stick over, but I'm still allowing it to come back here. So now we've got a hit, we got that finger, and then a grab. And now we've got a 3. So if we've got basically a hit, a bounce, and then what we have is the equivalent of a full stroke, but inside your fingers. That's a full stroke inside your fingers there. Right, allowing the stick to come back, and then a grab. If we bring this down to 45 degrees, this is essential that you nail this. It will help the twos. The push pull. Push finger pull, push finger pull, push finger pull, push finger pull, push finger pull. That's what we've got there. Let's speed this up a little bit now. Going through the same process. Now, as you start to speed up, you may notice that if you sort of push and only grab on the third one, so you're going to hit, just let it bounce and then grab. You can get threes very easily. Now this is the basis of some of those Tony Williams. I wish I could do it better than that. Come on, Andy. Just with that little hit. But also, this will utilize that three there. You'll be able to play faster jazz swings with that. So this push pull starts to have a lot more uses. Now let's move this three into French now. There's it big and at 90 degrees. So that's with the stick coming back up to here now, 45. And then we start to get this, right? Now because our thumb's on top, we could really just push now the stick into the drum. And because of what we've developed with the fingers and all the control, we can pull three off very fast. In fact, as fast as you like. Now that there is the secret of these really fast jazz ride players. But you've got to learn to play that syncopated. So rather than 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And I'm finding this is much more useful now. In terms of two sticks, if I can just move you out a little bit now to about there, so I can get my hand in position here. Good way to then bring it into your playing would be take a single stroke roll slow, relatively slow. And then, come on, see now I'm going too fast. It's all about going easy. Just because the chops are coming in handy doesn't mean you have to utilise them. So, single stroke roll, and then push pull. See, I'm pushing with my right hands. Wrist, push pull. 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 And then here it is in the left hand. And I'm afraid I'm nowhere near with my left hand the push pull, but I can do it in all positions. I've learnt it. I'm trying to work on it, you know. My left hand's actually better at the threes. It's a little bit better at that. But God, because this is not warmed up like this, because we've just spent 50 minutes and you've seen it happen before you on this video that's an hour long that contains everything that you need. This is the whole point in terms of showing you how to practice this, you know, and I'm hoping This video may work. I haven't designed it like this. It might be that you can put this on, get the sticks and just try and copy what I'm doing all the way throughout, and you'll get to a certain point. Maybe when you go through, you'll get to a later on point. So, can't do it. Right. This is another one I find. So I need to do some work. This is where my... Right, so I can't do this, right? I thought I'd be able to do this. So I'm trying to do a single stroke roll, but push with my left hand, and I can't do it. So I'm breaking it down. There's the push-pull mechanism. So first thing I've got to nail, this hand is bolted off, just working from the wrist, but this one's pushing and pulling. So now I've got it. Took me a bit of fiddling to get. I embarrassed myself yet again on camera, but I think it's very important to show these things. Now I'm going to do 40 at that speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Here we go, 20, 22. Always goes a bit wobbly. 23, 24, 25. Don't speed up just because it's coming in. 6, always works. 27, 28, 20. Nice to have the confidence that you know your practice method will work right now, that you won't have to sit there for days. 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Speed it up now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you can see as I'm playing, I'm smiling. Why? Because when I sit down to practice, I know what I'm bloody doing. And this 40 counts and working at a certain speed, don't speed it up, you listening to it and feeling it, and then going, I basically, when I smiled, it's because, yeah, it's like, Andy, you're holding it too tight, loosen it. So now we've got it in both hands, single stroke rolls or push-pull. And that's the best I've got. Should we do 40 on that, and then I'll finish up, see if that does any good. And I'm right at the back end of everything you need to know to develop push-pull. So let's try and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now, what I want you to do is, this is right at the limit of what I can do, right? You're watching me practice this stuff in real time. Now imagine you're the teacher and I'm the student. I'm going to do this now. Look at my right hand and look at my left hand, and in the comments write what the difference is. Right? What's the difference, and what can I do in my left hand to make it more like my right? How do I get my right hand to teach my left? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, had to slow it down, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now what I'm feeling is now you put it in the thing. Let's finish there, because the other thing to remember is this never ever ends. So that is everything I know about push-pull. With every avenue, every problem that you may come up with a solution, or hopefully the beginnings of a solution. What do we have here now? Probably the same speed as where I started, but here, there we go. That's faster and more consistent, and I can hold that down for a lot longer. Thanks for watching this video. If you want more of me teaching drums, right, especially hand technique, because I love teaching that, right, in an honest and not big-headed, I can do it all and you can't way. That is the key. That's what all the teachers don't realise, you know. Right, I won't go off on that one because we're really coming up to the hour and I wanted to keep this under the hour, so we've got 3 minutes to go. So please like, please subscribe. My channel, I went on holiday for a week. I've come back. I'm struggling. So if you can put a little bit in the PayPal tip jar just to get us through this period, that would be fantastic. I mean, I'm a beggar. I'm a digital beggar. This is how this works. So thank you very much. Or become a Patreon, or just share the video and, you know, play and like it and get the algorithm back on the track, that realizing that I am back doing videos again. 1 week off. This is the curse of YouTube. 1 week off, went on holiday, come back and the bloody money's not there anymore. And now everyone's panicking in their family because I'm the sole breadwinner. I don't want to lay all this on you, make you feel guilty, but I will, because that's the type of guy I am. What you see is what you get. I tell you what I think, I tell you what I feel. Hopefully that put some trust into what I do for, you know, you. And what else? My voice is so croaky. We've just done 2 hours of YouTubing and my voice is going, but what if I lost my voice? I wouldn't be able to YouTube. Oh, I need your help. Come on, do what you need to do. PayPal, chip jar. Bye-bye, everybody.